परम पूज्य सोना रिम्पोचे की दूरदर्शी सोच और प्रयासों से परम पावन दलाई लामा के आशीर्वाद से भारत के टेलीविजन इतिहास में पहली बार शुरू हुआ है एक टेलीविजन कार्यक्रम जो समर्पित है भगवान बुद्ध के दर्शन, ज्ञान और बौद्ध परंपराओं को। कार्यक्रम में दुनिया के तमाम बड़े बौद्ध धर्मगुरु, बौद्ध ज्योतिष शास्त्री, बौद्ध मेडिसिन के जानकार रोज आप तक पहुंचा रहे हैं अमूल्य जानकारियां। सबसे पहले देखिए बौद्ध धर्म से जुड़ी महत्वपूर्ण जानकारियां। बोध गया, वो जगह जहां राजकुमार सिद्धार्थ ज्ञान हासिल कर बन गए भगवान बुद्ध। बौद्ध धर्म के 4 सबसे पावन धर्मस्थलों की बात करें तो कुशीनगर, लुम्बिनी और सारनाथ के अलावा बोध गया भी उनमें से एक है। इसलिए यहाँ साल भर बौद्ध अनुयायियों का, विदेशी पर्यटकों का आना जाना लगा रहता है। लेकिन कुछ खास मौकों पर यहाँ भीड़ 50,000 से भी ज्यादा पहुँच जाती है। ये खास मौका रहा इसी साल जनवरी में, जब परम पावन दलाई लामा का यहाँ आना हुआ। आप पहले एपिसोड में देख चुके हैं कि कैसे महाबोधि मंदिर में मौजूद भगवान बुद्ध और बौद्ध धर्म के सबसे बड़े गुरु परम पावन दलाई लामा के दर्शन पाकर हजारों की भीड़ तृप्त हो गई और परम पावन दलाई लामा ने भी भगवान बुद्ध को अपनी श्रद्धा भेंट की। लेकिन परम पावन की बोध गया यात्रा यही खत्म नहीं हुई, बल्कि उन्होंने दुनिया भर के बौद्ध अनुयायियों को एक अनोखा तोहफा भी दिया।
इसी को ओपन कर
जी हाँ, यही है वो अनोखा तोहफा, मल्टीमीडिया म्यूजियम। अपने हाथों से उद्घाटन करने के बाद परम पावन दलाई लामा जिस म्यूजियम का मुआयना कर रहे हैं, दरअसल उसमें भगवान बुद्ध के दर्शन, बोध गया के महाबोधि मंदिर का महत्व, बोधि वृक्ष के नीचे ध्यान लगाकर कैसे भगवान बुद्ध को मिला ज्ञान, ये तमाम बहुमूल्य जानकारियां मल्टीमीडिया के जरिए भक्तों तक पहुंचाने का बेहतरीन इंतजाम है। आप यहां कुछ देर ठहरें और आपको बौद्ध धर्म और भगवान बुद्ध के जीवन से जुड़ी तमाम जानकारियां सहज तरीके से हासिल हो जाएगी।
Buddhism is one of India's religion, your own religion. So this country, Maharaja, Aryabhumi, 1,000 years, almost I think 3,000 years, many religions developed, and also India provides shelters of many other religions.
महाबोधि महाविहारा यानी महाबोधि मंदिर में मल्टीमीडिया म्यूजियम का उद्घाटन करने के बाद परम पावन दलाई लामा आगे बढ़े और मंदिर परिसर में ही पत्थर की नक्काशी से बनाए गए उस चित्र का मुआयना किया जिसमें भगवान बुद्ध के जीवन और दर्शन को सिलसिलेवार तरीके से और खूबसूरती से दिखाया गया है। कैसे दूर हो आपके जीवन की मुश्किलें, कैसे सवरे आपका करियर, कैसे सफल हो आपका हर काम, क्या कहते हैं आपकी किस्मत के सितारे। जानिए सटीक होने वाली बौद्ध भविष्यवाणियां बौद्ध ज्योतिष शास्त्री सेरिंग छांजुम से।
President, Namaskar. 5th July 2010, 24th day of the 5th lunar month, Monday, which is a favorable day for the person born in the year of dog and sheep. And this day carries element, a combination of water, which is considered very auspicious. And this combination of elements has refined energy that strengthens and extends one's life. But during this day, so starting off new battles, legal fights or lawsuits should strictly be avoided. 6 July 2010, 25th day of the 5th lunar month, Tuesday, a favorable day for the person born in the year of horse, snake, pig, mouse, and unfavorable for the one born in the year of bird and monkey. And this day carries an element of fire and water combination until 1 p.m. and this compound of energy acquires dead energy to cause one's life, and after 1 p.m. an elemental combination of fire and wind, which is auspicious, and such elemental combination has powerful energy to bring auspiciousness. But during this particular day, sending of cattle far off places should be avoided, and at the same time, no bloodletting and moxibustion on this day, and feasts for the relatives should also be avoided during this particular day. This no doubt is a birthday of His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama. 7 July 2010, 26th day of the 5th lunar month, Wednesday, a favorable day for the person born in the year of mouse, pig, ox, dragon, dog, and unfavorable for those born in the year of snake and horse. This whole day carries an inauspicious combination of elements, so it has energy to separate loved ones and also an energy to cause one's life. Therefore, any kind of important decision making and ceremonies should strictly be avoided during this whole day time. And no laying of foundation and renovating and moving of houses. See you same time tomorrow.
बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि धम्मं
क्या है भगवान बुद्ध का दर्शन? बौद्ध धर्म का गूढ़ ज्ञान। कैसे मिले दुख से मुक्ति? कैसे पाएं बुद्धत्व? क्या है धम्मम? क्या है संगम? ये कार्यक्रम आपको हर रोज दे रहा है ऐसे तमाम सवालों का जवाब। आज बौद्ध धर्म के प्रकांड विद्वान शाक्य रिम्पोचे से जानिए भगवान बुद्ध का दर्शन और बौद्ध धर्म का सही ज्ञान।
The word Dharma, Sanskrit word Dharma has actually many different meanings when it's used in different contexts. But when we refer to as a holy Dharma, it is something that is to save, to hold, not to fall down to the samsara or to the lower realms. And so this Dharma also has two aspects: the teachings as well as the realizations. Teachings such as like Tripitaka, as we know, Tripitaka, the Vinaya, Sutra, and Abhidhamma. Vinaya explains all the precepts, all the how to remain, how to take the precepts, how to keep the vows. And it is an antidote for the desire, because as an antidote to desire, it is the Vinaya. And then the Sutra explains all the different levels of meditation. And it is an antidote for anger, because through the meditation that one eliminates the anger. And then the third is the Abhidhamma, which explains all the wisdoms, all the philosophy, all the Buddhist philosophy, all the wisdom. And it is the antidote to ignorance, since there are three main departments: the desire, anger, and ignorance. As an antidote to these three main departments is the three Tripitaka. So that is the teachings. And then another aspect of the Dharma is realizations that Buddha and the Bodhisattvas gained through their practice. What they have gained is the realizations in life, such as the truth of cessation, where it sees all the departments, and the path that leads to this cessation, the truth of path, for the three precepts. So when we refer to as Dharma, holy Dharma, it is the Dharma, the true aspects, the teachings, Mahayana teachings, and the realizations that Buddhas and Bodhisattvas gained. So that makes it unique. And then third which is the Sangha. Sangha generally means, of course, community, but when we mean here holy Sangha, it is the true Sangha are the Bodhisattvas who have already reached the irreversible state. So in this way, that makes a unique Mahayana object of refuge. Buddha with the three kayas, Mahayana's teachings and realizations, and the Bodhisattvas who have already reached the irreversible state. But since the Mahayana, the eventual goal is to attain the enlightenment. So we take refuge from this moment until the enlightenment is reached. And so that makes it different time, different duration, different time, and that makes it a unique Mahayana refuge. And then the fourth is the purpose of taking refuge. The purpose of taking refuge is not just for the sake of oneself alone, but for the sake of all sentient beings, without any exception. And so in this way that we take refuge in the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, and we recite the refuge prayers. Although the main refuge comes from one's own mind, it's not just the verbal recitation. Although there's a physical, verbal and mental, but mind is the most important. Since mind is the most important, that we take refuge from the depth of one's mind. So when you take in this way, when you take the refuge, then you have set on the right track, on the right path. You began with the right path. Because once you are taking refuge, means that you are totally submitting yourself under the guidance and protection of the Buddha. Buddha Dharma Sangha. And this taking refuge is not just tradition, but it is in actual situation, it is necessary. For example, if one needs to go to unknown destination, first thing that we need is someone who can guide, who can show us the road, who can show us the correct road, right path. So that we take refuge in the Buddha as our guide, because Buddha will show us the path. And secondly, we need the actual path to go on. And by working on the road, that we will reach the destination. So the Dharma is our actual path, because through the practice of Dharma, that we will achieve the liberation and enlightenment. And so the main savior, or the main protector is the Dharma, because through the Dharma practice that we reach the enlightenment. And it is said the wheel of Dharma, because wheel of Dharma means the wheel turns and then you get to destination. By turning the wheel, one will reach to the destination. And secondly, that what we gain, what knowledge we gain, and what experience that we get, we practice on the path through the meditation, through the contemplation, through the study, contemplation, and meditation. Then we proceed to the higher and higher, just like by turning the wheel that we get to the destinations. Like that, as we go on, as we practice Dharma, then one will get to the destinations.